Welcome to the Green Door Podcast. I'm your host, Nacho Vegas. I'm here with a special guest, Bunny Skies. And we are a sex club here. And I gave her a nice tour. And what'd you think about it?
I thought it was really cool. It's a really big space, bigger than what I was expecting or like what I've seen at a sex club in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen one this big and more diverse.
Okay. Yeah, and I forgot to mention that we are about 2 miles from the strip.
Yeah.
And you could actually see the strip from here. You could definitely see the tall Needle Point building on the north end and maybe part of the sphere, So that's another cool, convenient thing about this place. And yeah. What was your favorite room, do you think?
Oh, I'd have to say my favorite room is the dungeon room so far.
Yeah?
That's very much like the gothy alternative vibe, but also like more on the BDSM side versus the more tamer vanilla side.
Okay. Yeah. Do you consider yourself more on the alternative side?
Yes.
Yeah?
100%.
Okay. When you do... Because you've been in the adult industry for how long?
I've been doing online sex work for, 4 years, 5 years now. And then I just got into doing porn about a year and a half ago.
Okay. And during the porn in the past year and a half, like what kind of scenes do you normally get booked for?
Mostly boy-girl or solo scenes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, are you like the stepdaughter type of thing, or like the family role, or do you do like the I am a librarian type of scenes, or is it all like gonzo, just straightforward?
Pretty much straightforward. I haven't done too many like stepbro or stepdaughter scenes. I've done a lot of like interracial scenes.
Okay.
I feel like they like to see that with the more petite, light-skinned girls.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of bookings.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Were you shocked or how did you feel when you got your first professional booking? And what kind of scene was it?
I was really excited. It was an interracial scene, but I was also really nervous that he wouldn't fit inside of me. And that is what happened.
Yeah.
So it just didn't work out, unfortunately, but...
Oh, the scene didn't finish?
No, he couldn't fit inside of me.
That's hilarious.
At all.
That's...
Yeah.
Did you had to lube it up and try, or did you...
Yeah, there's a lot of lube. We tried, and it just didn't...
Yeah.
They didn't want me to tear it all either.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Tried to make it a blowjob scene too, but that did not work either, unfortunately.
I mean, how do you really prepare for something like that?
I wasn't prepared. My agent was like, oh, just look at his Twitter, you'll be able to see. And I was like, I don't think this is gonna work. And he was like, well, do you want me to cancel it? I was like, no, we're not gonna cancel it. We're gonna try, because the worst thing that happened is it doesn't fit, and I go home.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I tried.
Yeah. So, from other podcast episodes that I've had, what some girls do is they will take the morning of, or maybe you could do it the night before and the morning of, is take a warm towel, like a hot towel, wet, and rest it on your lady bits.
Okay.
And then what it does, it opens up the pores and stuff. So you let it rest in there for about 10 minutes or so. That's about the time it takes for it to cool down, the towel. And then from there, you're just basically gonna either use lube or some kind of jelly and just kind of stretch it out that way.
Okay.
And then you're gonna use a lot of lotion or whatever kind of special cream you use for your parts, and what it does is your skin is gonna get used to the stretching part, and
okay.
and it's gonna absorb the moisture and stuff. Because I wouldn't say you're dry, but I'm just saying the outside parts. It's where you gotta focus on, because that's the part that's gonna crack on you.
Yeah, that's...
And it's gonna get irritated and stuff, so you gotta... It's over moisturizing.
Yeah, and for my first scene, ever in the industry, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
I didn't my agents didn't tell me like much information. I didn't really have many friends that were in the porn industry, so I didn't know what I was going into and what to expect.
Yeah. How many scenes do you think it took for you to like get like your vagina to get comfortable with what you were doing?
I'd say about like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Before like I really understood what I was doing and like understood the preparation for it.
Yeah. Okay. And after that point, you were like, hell yeah, I could do this?
Yeah, and like I made more friends in the industry as I went along, and they were a lot of help, like helping me with the preparation and also like the care afterwards.
Yeah. Now, the care, okay. Tell me about the care afterwards.
Okay, so for me, I've done a lot of bondage scenes as well. So one recently I did, it was a non-sex scene, and it was rope bondage. So I was bound at my wrists and my ankles, and I was sore after. I overexerted myself, so I had a sprained wrist, and I was like, okay, gotta get together with icy hot and just rest. Like rest myself, ice myself, take a hot shower. But that's the day I messed up. This was recently, because it was in LA, and then I drove straight back to Vegas right after. Like I didn't give myself that chance to like relax and like give myself that care right away after.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that's... So you drove here straight from there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see how that's like...
Driving with a sprained wrist for 4.5 hours.
Right. Yeah. And your body's getting a little tight and sore from being in a seated position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see something like that. But you would do it again, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So what, if you had the choice, or if you had to rank like top 3 scenes that you like, 1, 2, 3, like how would you order it?
Ooh, okay. So I would say my bondage scenes are my favorite because they're like the most enjoyable for me. It's something I enjoy outside in my own personal life as well as on film. And then second, I really like the solo scenes.
Okay.
I know it's not like typical boy-girl, but it's like just me and myself, so I don't have to worry about the other person too.
Right.
So I'm not like focusing on making sure that they're okay the whole time as well as myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And then third, I really like the girl-girl scenes that I've done. Not many. Like I feel like it's really hard for women to book girl-girl in the industry because a lot of the girls do it, but they don't actually like women or are into it. So
Right.
they're just doing it for the money.
Right. Can you easily tell?
Oh yeah, you can tell if they're not into it, like, or they're not experienced. They don't really know what they're doing. They'll come to set with extra long stiletto pointed nails, and it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna be the one fingering you today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You know, it's funny, sometimes I get asked to film other people, and sometimes there are girl scenes, and it's hilarious to me because, like, when a guy performs with a boy-girl scene, you know, males, we mind the camera, and the women do too. You know, they know the angles and stuff. But when it's girl, some girls, that's out the window. Like,
yeah.
They're not minding the camera at all. They're not angling it. And some girls are like, I don't know, it's very hard to give a reason why they do it. Maybe they just forget, or maybe they just like the girl so much that they just kind of want to be in the moment. But it's almost like a double standard. Like if a guy does the same thing to a girl and like not minding the camera at all, then it's like, well, the guy's just trying to get his rocks up. But the girl too. But you gotta, I don't know. It's very hard, but it's so hilarious when I direct traffic when it comes to girl scenes. I'm like, go do this way, lift up your leg this way, and they're just like, they're like getting flustered. I'm like, well, you know, your vaginas, there's no penises, so it's like when you're rubbing vaginas, it's like
you have
an inch.
You have to contort certain ways.
Yeah, then if you have a bush, and then you got shadowing, and you know, like you gotta put extra lights in there. It's a lot of work.
It is. It's a lot more work than boy-girl.
It is.
You don't have the penis to interfere.
Exactly. You don't have like the front and like in and out part, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Yeah, it's difficult, but there are like innovative angles, like sex positions that you could do in a girl.
Definitely.
Yeah. What would be your favorite position?
Ooh. Is there a strap-on involved or just...
No strap-on.
No strap-on, okay.
Strap-on's too easy.
I really like the angles in, if that makes sense. So, like, position-wise, I guess if she's laying like this, like against the wall, I guess, like, sideways.
Okay.
Like a T. That way it has that opening position for the camera.
Yeah.
And then they can spread open, and then it's a lot easier for both parties to, like, get that angle. So if I were to rest my head on her leg and then her leg's open, then you get that open camera angle from the top.
Okay. Yeah, I've done a thing where it's like they're both kind of sitting up, facing each other, like a vase.
Yeah, the V.
Yeah, the V. Yeah. And legs are over one, and the other ones are kind of underneath, and they're just kind of doing their thing, and I'm like, oh, that's hot. And then I could get straight up from the top, going right down, and you can see the whole everything.
I feel like with girl, there's a lot more angles from the top.
Right.
To hit. With boy-girl, you can hit, like, straight on or, like, underneath.
Right.
But girls, like, it's very direct.
Right. I have seen some cool, like, massage scenes with girls. That's really good. Because it's more sensual.
Yeah.
Therefore, like, you don't have to get just the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
You could see the curves of everything else, and it'll look pretty hot.
Definitely,
because wherever the girl's touching, that's the action.
Yeah.
You know,
all oiled up and...
Oh, yeah. And the lighting has to be right, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Do you see yourself as a director at one point, or filming someone? Do you get enjoyment watching other people?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'll be the first to say I'm a cuck.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it's enjoyable seeing someone else, like, enjoy themselves. Because if you see them happy, like, it also makes me happy.
Yeah, I kind of got that because you said that you like doing solo videos.
Yeah.
Because you worry about the other person so much that you care about them before you care about yourself.
Exactly. Like, I want to make sure that the other person's satisfied as well as me while I'm, like, shooting a scene. But if I'm watching someone else do it, like, I can tell that they're satisfied. And, like, I'm watching them be satisfied. It makes me happy.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what makes a good performer, too.
Yeah.
But, I guess it might be a little easier for a lady.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to, like, the actual pop shot, like, guys can't really fake it.
Yeah.
And girls could kind of, I don't know, they could come multiple times. Some don't, but a lot of them can.
Yeah.
And guys, like, you got one shot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where it's really hard with boy-girl, too. That's why I wouldn't say it's necessarily my favorite. Because they're, like... Some guys can't time the amount when they're about to come.
Yeah.
Like, I've been on set, and the guy's like, okay, I can come in 20 minutes. And then that's the video. But there's other guys who I'm on set for 4 hours, and they're not making it.
Yeah. I know, there's a science to it. I think every guy's different, but I'm more of a, like, knowing how to edge yourself.
Yeah.
To a point. And then kind of think about baseball after that. And then when you're ready, then you go right back into it mentally.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or you start, like, looking at the angles and looking at the camera or something. But yeah, it's hard. And
Yeah.
there's been a few times where I'm just like, okay, alright, this is gonna be a 10-minute scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But how about gangbangs?
I've never done a gangbang.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's something that I might be interested in, but it's a lot that goes into it, I feel like. Like, I know everyone always has their tests, but I feel like with more people, you're at a more likelihood for, like, an STI or an STD, which it happens in the industry. Like, it happens all the time. It's completely normal, but that's something that, like, makes me a little more nervous.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I've been A lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing's ever happened.
Okay. That's good.
But the longest part, that checking everyone's tests and doing all the paperwork takes just as long as the actual scene.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're thorough, you won't have any hiccups.
Definitely.
So like there's a difference between and any types of scenes. There's a difference between a professional set and a set where people are collabing or like less than amateur. You know.
Yeah.
And a professional set, like, you have to be on it, right? You're checking everyone because it is a business.
100%. And like, that's why I feel like I know a lot of people do collabs during AVN week because a lot of people are there and you're all in the same space, so why not work with each other? But then you have some talent who are having sex with fans or meeting people at bars and going out with them to their hotels. So like, you don't really know who they're with. Like, yes, they're tested before they come out here, but by the time they're out here halfway through AVN week and then you have your collab on the weekend, how many people have they slept with? And that's inside and outside of the industry.
Right.
So it's kind of like okay, I'm not going to collab AVN week. I'm going to wait till like 2 weeks after when everyone has fresh tests.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hear you. That's why I did all my stuff a day or two before.
That's smart.
Yeah, and then the whole week I focused on just showing up and making sure I get enough sleep.
Yeah.
And then I went out one night or during the all white party, and then and then I collabed again that Sunday.
Yeah.
And
I had a collab booked for, I think, the day of the white party.
Uh-huh.
And I had completely forgot about it until the girl messaged me that morning. But I had looked at her story on Instagram all week, and she had collabed with like 15 to 20 people within those 4 or 5 days. So I was like, okay, like, I trust you. I'm sure, like, you're doing your thing, but I'm going to have to pass on that.
Right.
Like, that risk scares me a bit more.
Yeah. Whenever I was supposed to do a collab like that Wednesday, and then the person that I confirmed that morning, and she's like, like I got a scene, and then afterwards I'll let you know, and then we can meet. I'm like, excellent. So she texted me and said, hey, it's running like an hour behind. I'm like, okay. And then, but then after that, and I'm just like, you know what? Same thing. I was like, let's just wait until it's all done.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's not try to squeeze in things.
Yeah.
Like, saying I'm going to try to fit it in during a week like AVN, it's not going to be good.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Plus, like, then you lose a little bit of the authenticity.
Definitely,
yeah. Because it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
You're rushing to go from scene to scene to scene to scene. Like, like, what's the point?
Yeah, and like, I think this girl, she didn't even go inside the expo at all. So she was just there to film content, which, that's amazing. Like, you're gonna make a bunch of money from that, but like, you're not at the expo. You're just here for content. So that kind of threw me off too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, unless you're from like a small town in Iowa, and then this is your opportunity to work with a bunch of people. But, but if you're from LA.
Yeah, and she's like a more established creator, so like I know she's always booked for content.
Yeah. No, sounds very familiar. I after this, I think, does the person start with an I?
No.
Okay.
No.
Alright, cool. Alright. It sounds very familiar. It sounds like someone.
Okay, so this is like a thing in the industry then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it is.
Like I said, I'm on the newer spectrum, so...
Yeah, it is. And, like, I used to be that guy. Well, last year, every year I have a goal, and last year my goal was to do, like, 150 collabs.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I did it. And, like, the year before that was 100.
Okay.
And I did it. So, like, now this year, I'm like, I'm busy. Like, I can't, there's no way I could do it. Like, I don't have the energy for it. So plus, like, I don't know, for me, it's for a guy at my age, like, where does it end? Like, am I popular because I get to do so many collabs, or am I doing well because the bottom line is I am making money off of it?
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm making money off of doing 50 collabs, and they're making no difference in money if I do 150 collabs, what's the difference? Like, how do I separate myself from the rest of the pack? You know, like, so this year I have other goals as far as like different businesses and stuff in the industry.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of going that route, and but it's working out pretty good, and but I do collabs still. It's just I'm not like a content whore. I call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just gets overwhelming.
It does.
Yeah, and you're in a good city. This is a good town to do collabs. You don't really have to plan a trip somewhere to get collabs done.
I feel like Vegas is a city for sex workers.
Right.
Like, I feel like it's built around the industry.
Right.
So you always have new people coming in. Not necessarily new people, but like industry people coming in all the time and like coming in and out for collabs.
Right.
Or for shoots. So you always have a constant flow of creators.
Right. And this company I shoot for, they shoot only 4 times a month.
Oh, wow.
And they're doing great.
That's amazing.
And the way I see it the same way. Like, well, if I can get 4 solid collabs, and then I have a circle of friends that we shoot anyways.
Yeah.
We get tested and we shoot. So the numbers are still there. It's just, but and you also want to keep the genuine, like, the genuine feel of the shoot, because, like, I don't know about your fans, but my fans could tell when someone's faking or not, and they buy the content because they feel like they could do it themselves, or they feel like you guys are really into it.
Yeah.
Like, it's hot, you know.
I feel like it's a lot easier when you know the people you're working with versus like going on a set and not knowing someone. Then you don't get as genuine of a video,
Right.
Or like not as good of a video.
Right. So, like, for me, whenever I do a lot of gangbangs, and like I shoot for this company, and I don't, we get call sheets, right? And then, like, I don't even want it. Like, I don't even want to know who I'm shooting with.
Really?
Yeah. And that's my own little trick, because I want that excitement feel.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know who it's gonna be. I'm just gonna show up, and when I turn the corner into the room and I see her, like, then I'm like, oh, wow. And then I get that excitement, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah.
That's my little trick. But if I find out who it is, I'm going to be like, I got to know, like, who this person is, like.
Yeah.
And then if I see something on their page for that, I'm like, is she really doing that? Is she really putting that in where? In there? And that's coming out of her mouth? And that's happened to me,
Really?
Where I'm like, I found out who it was, and
Yeah.
I'm like looking, and I'm like, oh, I was like, no, not a Hot Wheel, no, like, yes.
I love knowing who I'm working with, just so that I can, like, not stalk their socials, but definitely, like, go through and, like, make sure that they're more reputable on the side. Because I will say, like, at AVN I met some male talent, and I was like, I don't necessarily think I want to work with you. Like, the conversation I had with them kind of gave me an icky feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like, now I know in the future you're someone I don't necessarily want to work with.
Right. Well, like, when it comes to, like, professional sets, well, let me backtrack. I learned all my etiquette and my everything from being in the swinger community.
Okay.
And, like, it took me 2 years or so to, like, be 100% like confident on my speaking skills and talking to women and talking to couples and knowing what to say, how to say it in different situations. And I found out the trick for lasting so long in that lifestyle was not to get personal in a place like this, because this is the one place where you could go and have fun, play, meaning sex, and high five and walk out.
Yeah, you never have to see him again.
Exactly. And that's how I treat professional sets.
Okay.
And professional sets, there might be some pictures taken just for clout afterwards, like I shot with this person, and then afterwards, like if we want to DM each other, like, hey, vibe was great, let's collab, great. But most times it's like, see ya, I'm gonna go eat, kind of thing, and you get to walk out. Collabs are different, right? Collabs is like you have to know that person. You kind of do, like, because people will know, other creators will know, well, you collabed with that person, and this person did this, or this person acts like this. I can't believe you did that.
Yeah.
And on a professional set, you could be like, look, I got paid.
Exactly.
And that's the divider.
Yeah.
That's the denominator or whatever. We got paid to do it. We're professionals at the end of the day. It's not gonna mess up my money. Plus, like if you like the company that you shoot for, Brazzers, Bang Bros, and whatever, like if you get booked through Brazzers, doesn't matter who you're gonna shoot with.
Exactly.
Chances are you're gonna work.
Yeah, it's like, Browsers booked you? Okay, you're doing it. Because, like, they'll help give you a name in the industry, I feel like. They're such a good, reputable company. Like, they're one of the best in the industry, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. But if it was, I don't want to, like, call out, like, not so popular name companies, like, but there are other websites where people are like, oh, kind of thing. So it works in that realm too, in the professional realm. Oh, you shot for these people, but you haven't shot for Brazzers yet. So like you're not there yet, kind of thing. Yeah. And it happens. It happens in there, whatever. So
you gotta work your way up too sometimes. Like I was supposed to go on. I got booked for Brazzers as a non-sexual extra, which that's fine. I think it's like $200. So it's just you go in there and you're fully clothed.
Yeah.
But I ended up having COVID, so I couldn't shoot for it.
Oh no.
And I haven't been rebooked yet, but that's something I was definitely sad about.
Yeah. I've done a few extras for Brazzers.
That's awesome.
Just to say I did it.
Yeah.
And one time I played like Katie Morgan's husband, and then but every son I had was like Hispanic, so I'm like the Hispanic, guy, and I was like, I don't mind. And he's like, hey, it looks like you're my dad again. I'm like, yep. Yep. So,
awesome.
Yeah, it was a fun experience. I think probably the best I liked about most was the food. Because they feed you well.
They do? They feed you on set?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The most I've seen on set is like some fruit snacks and some Red Bull.
No, they'll ask like, hey, you want quabas, or do you want like Pollo Loco? And I'm like, Pollo Loco? And I'm like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's an all-day shoot. Yeah. And even to this day, like, people are like, I know you from there, or like, alright.
That's pretty cool, getting known from Brazzers.
Yeah. He's like, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, at AVN, when we were at the booth, I was so surprised because the other guy knew me from my content with my friend versus, like, online or from Pornhub or something.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I feel like when I get recognized for content that I do with my friends on OnlyFans, it's a lot more genuine because, like, it's my friends, and, like, it's a lot more fun shooting with your friends.
Right. A lot of people... Well, Mark was just explaining the difference between, like, websites, people that subscribe on websites, and people that subscribe on, like, OnlyFans and stuff.
Yeah.
Like for websites, he says that... He made a good point where he said, like, people are subscribing they're getting memberships.
Yeah.
It's a membership. They expect a certain thing every time, like, and they don't really care who the girl is.
Yeah.
They just love the platform so much, Fake Taxi or whatever, and they expect the same thing.
Yeah.
But when people subscribe to your OnlyFans, like, they're fans.
Yeah.
And, like, they're subscribing to you and what you do and stuff, which I think is more impactful.
Definitely.
Because they're so loyal to you.
Yeah. Recently I had one fan who, he's been one of my fans since I started doing, like, online sex work. And he saw that I did a shoot with AT Kingdom, the solo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, I was a member back in like 2001. Let me know when your scene drops. I'll rejoin their membership.
Yeah.
But he's also subscribed to my OnlyFans and all my other platforms. So that was really cool. Like, I brought him back to that other site just so he could see all my sets and videos on there.
Right. That's awesome. So yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Man, I saw this crazy documentary of like those big companies and how they make money and get subscribers and like it's so gross. It's so gross.
Yeah.
In a good way, but it's like, oh God, I just want like a piece, a small piece.
I got really lucky. I signed with an OnlyFans agency,
Mm-hmm.
so it kind of boosted me a bit more because I started doing OnlyFans TV. So that built my platform up to where I am now. I'm at like 85,000 subscribers on OnlyFans.
Oh, that's good.
And then that helped me transfer over to the porn industry.
Oh, nice.
Because I already kind of had a name. They were like, okay, like, you have a following, so
Yeah.
you're going to do well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a bit hesitant because all my tattoos at first.
Okay.
They almost didn't sign me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like borderline.
Yeah. And then I started getting more tattoos, and I texted my agent, and I'm like, hey, I know my contract says to let you guys know when I get more tattoos. And then he goes, oh, you're already tattooed, it doesn't matter. You don't have to let us know.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Nice. I think, well, because, like, how old are you again?
23.
23? Yeah, because you still have a very young look and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, so a lot of, like, alternative types of girls, like, they fit the part. I mean, it's almost like their whole thing is a piece of art. I mean, their whole body, you know, and but they don't look innocent at all. You still have that innocent look, so which is good.
Yeah.
So you could go both ways.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'd say out of a lot of them that I know, you're probably the most diverse. I've never seen any of your content,
Really?
but like I would. That's what I would guess.
Yeah. I try to be more diverse with it, because then you get more bookings the more diverse you are. So it's very helpful.
Yeah, definitely, and personality goes a long way too. Of course.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people miss. Like, you know, I'm a big wrestling nut. Like, I'm a big wrestling fan. I've gone to WrestleMania and all that stuff, and like, but I learned a lot from like those personas.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, when they hit that mark where they're famous, like they kind of turn into that persona, rather than like some people where on camera they act one way, off camera they're something else.
Definitely.
Right, and I'm not saying that's good or bad, but sometimes it's good and bad.
Yeah.
It could be good and bad, and sometimes like their persona gets in the way of who they are truly, and then it shows.
Exactly.
Because like when they're walking around, people are saying, "Hey, I'm a big fan," and they just keep walking.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm like.
I had a fan approach me at AVN, and they were like, you know, like, you're the only person that was kind enough to like stop and actually have a conversation with me. All these other girls just kind of shrugged me off and pushed me away or asked me for more money.
Right.
And like, I'd rather build a relationship with my fans where they're receiving kindness.
Right.
Because like overall, like they're there to come and meet you and put money in your pockets.
Right.
They're the ones funding your career right now. So if you're a complete bitch to them, you're gonna lose out on money and your career.
Right.
Like you're not gonna get further.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see that. I see it a lot, you know, and sometimes like you want to be famous to where you're kind of like untouchable.
Yeah.
You know, like, because now you're at that status to where it's like you light the room. You know, you're the aura, right? And,
yeah.
And I don't know. Let's say Nicolette Shea. I remember when she first got into the industry. She came in here one time, and I instantly knew her because she had just did a Brazzers scene, and a friend of mine directed, and he had posted something, and then like 2 nights later she's here, and with her boyfriend or whatever, and I'm like, oh shit, like you're Nicolette Shea. And she's like super nice, kind, took photos, but now if I went up to her and I will say, hey, you know, remember me? And like she'd be like, you know.
Oh my goodness.
You know, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
You know, and which is fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she's hit that mark where all she does is brazzers.
Yeah.
You know, and it serves. She deserved it.
Yeah, she deserved it. I feel like you're constantly meeting new people, so like not remembering people, I can understand that. But like, I've definitely seen some stars where you go up to them and you're like, hey, like I remember you from this, and they're like, oh, and they just kind of like shrug you off and walk away. Like they don't even like, oh, like where did we meet, or how would I remember you? Like they don't take that time.
Right.
And then there's other ones who are like super down to earth and like, oh yeah, I do remember you. Like I don't remember your name, but I do remember meeting you.
Yeah. Now, what, like say 3 years down the road, where do you see yourself in the industry?
Hopefully I see myself going further in the industry. That's my goal, because I am newer, so I am hoping just to get my name out there more and become more of like a recognizable face.
Okay. Now, I know it's very impossible to remember people's faces and stuff. Like, say that one guy that subscribed to the ATK get the membership again. Would you still remember him 3 years from now?
Oh, definitely. He's been there since I started, like, Snapchat Premium, before OnlyFans was a thing.
Nice.
Like, he was one of my very first subscribers, and he was always supporting me, buying content from me through COVID. Like, the people from the very beginning I'm going to remember because they were there when I started. So, like, I've grown from just doing Snapchat Premium with my 5 people a month to now, like, 85,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So, like, when I have my VIPs from OnlyFans come see me at the expos, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I recognize your name, I recognize your face.
Yeah.
Like, there's very few people I, like, fully recognize, but it's the main people who are the bigger fans.
Right. Yeah.
The more consistent people, I should say.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, like, unique, not me, but, like, we're very unique here because this is a sex club and stuff, and so we have a website here, and I mean, it's weird, the algorithms, like, people Google this place, like, at one point it was like over 100,000 times a month.
Oh, wow.
And because when people visit Vegas, they find out, like, what's the craziest thing to do in Vegas, and we're always like top 3.
And then you have like the little boards going around town.
I know.
I've seen those.
Yeah. So when they go onto the website, probably the first penis they're gonna see is mine. You know?
How do you feel about that?
I don't mind it, because I come in here. When I come in here and walk around and stuff, or I meet people, because a lot of times I meet couples in here and I give them a tour, or they want to film and stuff, and people are like, Nacho, like, oh my god, you're my hero, like you're me, I'm you, like, we're like, you know, we get the same body and everything. Like, I don't know how you do it, you're lucky, and I'm like, thanks, man. You know, like, you know, I just wear my avocado shirt and truck on, you know. And, yeah.
I feel like that helps give them more confidence too. Like, it makes them, when they see like we're normal people in here and not just like, what's the word? Like what everyone thinks is the expectations. And then they come in here and they're like, oh, like this is a lot more like down to earth in here. Like, it's not so, like, you're not coming in here with what you expect to see.
Right. Yeah. Like
that makes sense.
No, yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not making an appearance, right? I'm just here doing my normal thing.
Yeah.
My routine and stuff. Yeah. And like at the AVN, I'll tell people, like, I encourage them, like, go come to the green door, like,
you were popular at AVN.
Yeah. I know, it's weird. Yeah. I'm like a local kind of like underground hero kind of thing.
You need your own signing table next year.
I know, right? Right. I signed some guy's underwear.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Come out and they're like, what happened? I was like, some guy met in the bathroom.
Yeah, I've signed people's underwear, shoes, jacket. They just want something from me.
That's
since I don't have any photos or anything like that. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Yeah. local celebrity.
Right. At least it's a good town to be a local celebrity.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I get noticed around here just from dancing at Freakorama at Double Down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like, people notice me from that? And, like, at AVN, they were noticing me just from dancing. And I was like, you notice me from dancing, but not my porn?
Right. Yeah. The even the security guards at the casino, they're just like I know you are, like, you're the podcast guy.
That's
or this
awesome.
and that. Yeah. Some friends that I have, like, they're starting to see my stuff, and like I don't care where they see it, my stuff from, but I don't want to, like, say it first.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to, like, discover it themselves, because at least I know, like, if they're gonna talk, like, shit, if they say they noticed me on a gangbang,
Yeah.
well, they were the ones watching.
Yeah.
The gangbang, so they might have seen me jerking off, like, while they were jerking off.
Yeah.
You know, then I'm like, ha, like, so how'd you find out? Like, were you, like, masturbating, like, while you were watching me? You know, it's kind of like my own little joke for myself. Yeah.
They got caught, otherwise.
Right. So I know that's the only way you would know.
Yeah.
If you were jerking off.
They have to tell on themselves.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's always fun.
It is, yeah. And what's even great, it's like, well, the best times when I get noticed, like, my favorite is when I go to LA.
Yeah.
When I go to another city, and then they see. And then what's funny is, like, if I'm around cousins or something, and this happened last month, and one guy's like, no, I'm sorry, but I know you from somewhere. And my cousin's like,
uh-oh.
and I'm like, I just say, I'm everywhere. Like, I don't ever say, I go probably from porn or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I'll say, oh, I'm everywhere. Like, yeah, but I just feel like I know you or somewhere. And I'm like, it'll come to you. When I'm gone, you'll know. Just let my cousin know and let me know. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then when I walk away, my cousin's, like, laughing. And he's like, oh, my God. Like, this is hilarious. They're like, right?
Yeah. For me, my boyfriend went with me when I went to get a new car last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the oddest interaction. I was just going there to pick up my new car that I'd bought. And the sales associate comes up to me and she goes, so my coworker noticed you. I didn't know I was helping a little celebrity. And I was like, did he say where he noticed me from? And she goes, so he was doing his research last night and pulled up your talent manager's profile. I was like, oh, okay. Yep.
Yep.
This is like a car dealership. That's not what I was expecting at all. It was definitely...
Hopefully you got a discount or some kind of, like, no?
It was after I bought it.
Damn it. Not even, like, 5 free oil changes?
It was the next day. And I was like, oh.
Damn it.
So they were sitting there at their desk watching me buy my car. And then waited till the next day to come say something.
Oh, that's hilarious. You know, that's one good thing also about Vegas is, like, you can get popular for anything here.
Yeah.
Like, if you started a YouTube channel on, like, going to different coffee shops, like, you'll get noticed.
Have you seen Team Cheeks Las Vegas?
No.
That's my favorite to watch on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Team Cheeks LV. And he just goes around streaming on Discord and, like, finding girls with nice butts. And, like, I think he drove by here one time and he just, like, videoed the outside and was like, oh, no cheeks outside today.
Oh my gosh.
And he'll walk through casinos trying to find girls with asses. He was at AVN.
Uh-huh. Wow. I didn't notice that.
All over Vegas he goes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's amazing. It's my favorite.
Really? Just looking at butts all day?
Yeah, well, I'm not. I just like when I see the reels pop up on Instagram, because he'll walk into massage parlors too.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, like, okay, no cheeks today. Like,
Oh
no happy endings today.
That's hilarious. That'd be cool if he had his own punchline.
He might. I'll have to go through and double check.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny.
That's cool. So, before we sign off, like, tell us what your New Year's resolution is. Like, what you got going on this year? Like, what goals do you have? Like, the whole bits, everything.
So, I'm not really one for resolutions, but I will say my one goal for this year was to quit vaping.
Okay.
It's not going very good so far.
No?
No.
Yeah.
And I'm working Champs trade show too this upcoming week, and it's only gonna get worse after that.
What's that, Champs?
It's a trade show for anything you can find in a smoke shop.
Oh.
Vapes, cannabis, glass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a smoke shop convention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably would be good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I come home with like 40 vapes after.
Get out.
So I'm gonna try to give more of them away so that I have less to rely on.
You know what I did? I used to smoke cigarettes, and I would buy a pack of cigarettes. So say it was $8, I would take another $8 and put it away like in a piggy bank.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the year, I would count to see how much I got. It was like over $10,000. It was ridiculous, and that's when I had that reality check. And at one time, I went to a casino and I bought cigarettes. It was like $20.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm quitting. That was it.
Yeah.
So I took the money, went on vacation, came back, and that was it. Yeah.
That's good.
I do smoke cigars though.
Okay.
But it's not like it's like one a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Good.
Well, that's cool. But how about professionally? Like, what are you doing? Any kind of like maybe tour or traveling, shooting, or?
I want to say more exploration of brands. I had some different companies approach me at AVN.
Mm-hmm.
So branching out more in different aspects. I had kink.com approach me.
Okay.
So I signed up with them again, and going back into that, some more bondage scenes would be awesome.
Yeah, bondage, like forced orgasms. I know that's a pretty popular thing.
Yeah, forced orgasms, rope bondage. I'm open to pretty much everything. You have to try everything at least once. At least in my opinion. You can't say you don't like something if you haven't tried it.
That's true. That's true. Well, do you want to face the camera and give your links and where they can find you and stuff?
Yeah. You guys can find me at onlyfans.com/lostcause or Instagram at glittery.hell, or my spicy stuff is on X, Twitter, at bunny_skies.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you for checking out the Green Door and being on the podcast. And I want to thank you guys for checking out Bunny Skies. And we're going to have all the links and description underneath in the description box. So please like, subscribe, and hopefully one day we'll have you back and do a part 2. And maybe by then you'll quit vaping and go from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. All right, see you guys.
Thanks for watching the Green Door Podcast. For more content, click the links below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and to follow our guest social media accounts.